Yeah, I mean, I can understand a fair bit too.
Okay.
I could understand that when you were talking there, you were saying about when we should when we
cool.
should
Yeah,
start
good,
speaking
good.
and all that.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's sixth, sorry, Klimoshinova is playing first base. Batting sixth and playing third base is Barbara Klechkova. Batting seventh and playing right field is Mikhaila Davidova. Batting eighth is the designated player Katarzyna Sladkova. And batting ninth is the left fielder Magdalena Kipova. As we see there, the defense for the Eagles and the starting pitcher Martina Vicenova.
One name you haven't mentioned is Tempo is starting in offense. Obviously, is their starting pitcher Mikhail Blahova, which will be a center figure for Tempo squad. While we see the opposition, the starting pitcher for Eagles club, Vicenova, warming up before the game. It was a low-scoring game on Tuesday, and let's see if that could carry on to today's game.
Well, Vicenova has played the last 2 years for the Eagles, originally from the Radotin Prague team, played 1 season in New Zealand before she came here to the Eagles. And they're ready now. It looks like pumped up for this game. It's been a long winter for them. They've got 1 game under their belt. As we said, a surprise. They've only played 1 game so far in a strange, they've had a couple of rained out games, but it looks like they're set to go now. And leading off for Tempo is Emma Vodichkova.
That will be definitely an issue. We'll have to see how Eagles will cope with that. They don't have that many game experience this season. So let's start.
And she hits the first pitch hard to left field. That's over to Novotna. So a leadoff single there for Vodichkova. She got all of that one.
So that's what you call don't waste any time, and couldn't be any better start for Tempo. Clean single to left.
So 1 pitch and a runner on base, and now in the position she likes to be in, Mikhaila Chutilova, the batter. Squares to bunt. Takes a ball. Okay, that's a called strike. So I don't know if she's just showing bunt to draw the infield in, or surely it could be a situation we want to lay one down here.
Difficult to say, but definitely it opens options for the offense with no outs to move the runner to scoring position.
Showing bunt again, takes a big cut at that one a little bit late though, and she's now behind 0-2.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
This will be definitely interesting to see what kind of offensive strategy the team will employ. There is another attempt or shown bunt, but there are 2 strikes.
Oh, and she gets a called strike 3. So 3 pitches and 3 strikes from Vicenova, and she's got 1 down.
That's what you expect to see from your starting pitcher after the leadoff hit. Get back to the game, and they are happy to have 1 out now. Double play will get them out of the inning.
The number 3 hitter for Tempo, Katarzyna Vatskova. And Vicenova finding the strike zone now, so far with every pitch.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. She's pounding the zone, especially the low in the zone. I think the pitching coach, Stan Havel, will be very happy about that.
That one's in the dirt and goes to the backstop. Vodichkova moves up to second base on the wild pitch. So now a runner in scoring position for the national team player, Katarzyna Vatskova.
We've seen the third base coach flashing signs, so there might be a play in the making.
Well, it's not looking like Vicenova wants to get too close to the strike zone with Vatskova up to bat. Of course, she is one that can, number 3 hitter, national team player for the Czech Republic, can hit the ball.
Absolutely, and the wild pitch or pass ball, which we've seen before, opened the first base, so there is always option to accommodate her on the first base.
That's the corner there, 2-2 the count.
Vatskova is definitely trying to work count in her favor. Let the other players to see some pitches early.
Makes contact and drives it up the middle. They are sending her home. In comes Vodichkova. No, she retreats back to second base to draw the throw home and get Vatskova over to second.
Yeah, it was a smart alert play. They forced the throw home, and the center fielder failed to hit a cutoff, and there was no chance for defense to make an out at the second base. So here we are with 2 on in scoring position. Pretty good situation for Tempo early in the game.
We saw Vodichkova there made a wide turn at third base, but did hold up, and that was with 1 out, probably a wise decision. Anna Dushkova now with 2 runners in scoring position, the batter. She fouls the first pitch out of play. I think that went out to the other diamond, actually.
It was a very good play on her part because she forced that throw from center field and helped her teammate to get to the second base without any play. So this is very, very good aggressive base running for Tempo.
Well, Dushkova, another national team player for Tempo, so they've got a solid middle of the order here. She gets a piece of that one, but that will be out of play on the right field side. That was Stardova, the right fielder, giving chase but ran out of room.
Yeah, there is not that much room in the lines, especially in the right field, and that wall, concrete wall, could be challenging for the fielder, so that was definitely out of her reach.
Yeah, you're not going to want to run it that too hard. We can see the behind home plate on the monitor there is padded, but down the lines there, yeah, that's a pretty solid fence you're walking into. And I think that hit her in the foot, it did, and the bases are now loaded.
Not exactly the kind of start of a game Vitsenova was envisioning, but they still have 1 out and chance to end the inning with a double play, or at least make force at home and prevent Tempo from scoring.
So Johanna Klimushkova, the number 5 hitter, with the bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch is in the dirt.
As Vitsenova was hitting the strike zone early in the game, couple of hits could eventually get into her head. She has trouble locating the pitches right now. Could be afraid.
In there for a strike, 1-1. And with the bases loaded, this is a situation where you don't want to be missing the strike zone too much.
Absolutely, you don't want to start scoring by forcing in the runner with bases loaded.
Ground ball in the infield, right back to Vitsenova. They'll take the fourth play. The plate on a double play gets out of the inning. A 1-2-3 double play. Vitsenova to Thompsonova to Jana Kulova. And the Eagles got themselves into a jam there, but get out of it.
Exactly what the Eagles needed, just a weak grounder and well-executed play home, a nice throw to first. But it was definitely interesting half inning from Tempo. So let's see what Eagles can do in the bottom of the first. They had difficulty to score the first game of the season, and they don't have that playing experience for some of the players that might be they're still waiting for the first hit of the season that could play.
Letošní sezóna je pro mě 13. v Extralize jsem již 5. rokem kapitánkou A týmu a už se mi povedlo získat 4 extraligové tituly a ráda bych k tomu ještě přidala určitě nějaký. Sezóna loňská byla určitě výjimečná, jako každá. Dostali jsme se po 4 letech do finále Extraligy po generační obměně. Pořádali jsme Evropský pohár žen, kde jsme skončili na 4. místě. 13. sezóna je pouze v Extralize žen. Já hraju celkem 20 let a softball mě pořád baví. Já jsem tady skoro jako doma, jsem tady spokojená a ta láska k tomu sportu je podle mě hrozně důležitá.
Well, we see now tempo on the field in the bottom of the inning, and we take a look at the Eagles lineup, led off by Natalia Kopitsova, the center fielder. Batting second, the shortstop, Gabriela Slaba. Batting third at first base is Jana Filova. Batting fourth is the catcher, Eliška Thompsonova. Batting fifth at third base is Sabina Boritska. Batting sixth is the right fielder, Alica Skardova. The designated player is batting seventh, Klara Chekova. Batting eighth is the second baseman, Lucia Chernohlavka. And batting ninth is the left fielder, Teresa Novotna. As we can take a look there at the tempo defense. And their starting pitcher, Vlahova, at first pitch to Kopitsa is a called strike.
Yeah, the headline of this lineup would be the leadoff hitter Kopitsova. She's a member of the national team and she's looking to provide exactly the same spark plug to the offense. The tempo got from Vodičkova, but it will be difficult against fellow national team pitcher in Blahova.
Blahova ahead 0-2 right now. Outside 1-2.
That's exactly the situation where she wants to be, being ahead in the count and try Kopitsova to chase something outside of the zone. Very close ball. This is exactly what she's trying to do right now. Nothing into the zone, just dance around and either let her chase a ball or take a third strike.
Gets a piece of that one, fouls it off, still 2-2. Vodičkova stays alive.
He was there early but let the hands fall down, but was falling the pitch.
That one looked like it jammed her inside a bit, fouls it.
Yeah, again, she was there early, but run into her hands and she was jammed. So it was not very strong contact.
So Vodičkova giving Blahova a pretty good battle here to lead off the game for the Eagles.
That's what you expect from your leadoff hitter.
That ground ball to shortstop, it's over for the out. Vodičkova over to Klimušová.
Na pálce s číslem 47 spojka Gabriela Slaba.
So far the defense is working flawlessly for both sides. We haven't seen that much of a sample, but that's what we can expect the entire game.
Slaba looked like she was going to try to take a bunt at that one, but it ends up being a called strike. Gets a piece of that one, fouled on the third base line.
She was there quite late. That doesn't look like being overmatched. It's rather she was maybe looking for some other pitch and decided to swing anyway.
The next pitch was well high.
It could be she was challenging her with a fastball.
The ground ball, Blahova has trouble with it. He's going to have time to get the out. She does. The 2 away.
She just bobbled it under her feet and was able to recover quickly to do the ground out.
Gonna get another look at it there. That can be a tough play right back at the pitcher. Especially if a runner has speed, it can be really tough if you don't feel the cleaning to get that out. So now with 2 outs and nobody on, Jana Hilova will try to get something going. Fouls that first pitch off. Out of play.
Hilova is also a captain of the Eagles team, so what a great time for her offense to start going and get Thompsonova, the best hitter of the lineup, opportunity to drive some runs.
One and one now, the count to Tsilova.
We've seen slightly different approach. Vitsanova was trying to hit the low part of the zone, while Blahova is trying to ride the ball high.
Big cut at that one. 1 and 2. Look at that one.
That was very close pitch.
And even Vatskova, the catcher, turning around and asking the umpire where that pitch was. The 1-2, makes solid contact there, but just foul down the right field line.
It was very nice contact. Unfortunately for Hilova, it was not in the right direction. But she's contacting the ball, which is always a good sign early in the game.
Well, the Eagles dugout trying to start a 2-out rally here, and they're hoping Hilova can get that started. Set on the changeup, a little dribbler to second base. Kutilova over to Klumishinova for the out. So 3 up and 3 down for the Eagles. And after 1 inning, we are scoreless.
Yeah, Blahova forced her to harmlessly ground. It was a weak contact. And there is no score after the first inning.
Takže všichni si připravte svoje lístky. Tím prvním výhercem je číslo 1309. 1309. Další výherce číslo 1601. 1601. A tím posledním v této přestávce je lístek s číslem 1374.
Ema Vodičková, spojka tempa, autorka toho prvního odpalu. Emo, to byla vlastně součást taktiky trefit hned první nadhost, nebo vlastně ten nadhost tomu vzýval?
Já jsem šla do toho, že si vezmu první a naštěstí to vyšlo, takže to byla taktika.
Jak bylo těžké pro vás se skoncentrovat, protože ten začátek televizního utkání není úplně standardní pro vás, televize to má tendenci trošku oddalovat, tak jak bylo těžké a čím jste se koncentrovala?
Tak my jsme si šli dát jako pepra, abychom se nějak zabavili a stane se, že se to prodlouží, takže jsme to nějak zvládli.
Ten konec plné mety, 1 out, trochu to jako přímo vzývalo k bodu, tak jak moc mrzelo, jak to skončilo?
Je to škoda, že jsme neskorovali, ale věřím, že letos ještě to dotáhneme a že nějaký ten bod padne.
Ať se daří.
Děkuju.
There was an interview with lead-off hitter Vodičková. She said it was her game plan for the first at-bat to try to jump first pitch, and it worked for her. And they were delayed a little bit by the TV coverage, but they were able to manage stay sharp for the beginning.
Well, yeah, you mentioned the TV coverage. Not only are we doing this game, but this is also on television here in the Czech Republic on Česká televize, Czech television. So a national audience here to see this game, and Martina getting ready for her second inning of work here.
Absolutely, this is not something which happens every day, so it's a new element for players. So could be a factor for them. But so far, definitely the defense is working well, so hopefully they can manage the nerves and perform to their level of abilities.
Well, Barbara Klečková is the leadoff hitter here for Tempo, top of the second. And Vicenova was nowhere near the strike zone with either of those first two pitches, so Thompsonova just going over to talk to her. We get a look there at Eddie the Eagle. See him around the park a bit.
Absolutely, Eagles would like to take advantage of being at home, especially this is just the second game of the season.
We can see him there with his little perch behind home plate, and Vicenova misses high, now 3-0.
Everybody clap your hands.
The home team wants to be close and be relevant in this game. She needs to find the strike zone. Can't afford walking hitters.
She does get this 3-1 call. That's almost an automatic sometimes.
Radek Duma is a good referee with a long career. Sometimes the borderline calls could be questionable on him, but
well, Vicenova now has worked back from 3-0 to 3-2.
She definitely took advantage of those calls being called in her favor. So we see the full count and payoff pitch coming.
And misses ball 4. And is she gonna? She took down there in a hurry. She might have been thinking about going to second, but did not.
And it was definitely not a pitch she wanted to do. Probably rush it a bit because hitter was not going to swing on that, offering to the dirt.
Well, now Mikhaila Davidova with a runner on base, nobody out. Waves at it, trying to bunt, misses.
It's the bottom of the lineup for Tempo, so we might see another example of a small ball, and we just seen attempt to move runner over to scoring position.
Of course, Davidova was a national team player for a couple of years, so it's not that weak at the bottom of the lineup.
Absolutely not, but still, well, we've seen the double play in the first inning, and they definitely want to get scoring position and avoid the double play and drive the run later on.
Well, the 1-1, we'll see if the bunt is still on. Showing it. Pulls it back, 2-1.
It's difficult to say because the ball was nowhere near the zone, but yeah, body language looked like she was really going to bunt, not just showing it.
Yeah, it was it was a bit late if you're just showing it, but we'll see. 2-1 now. Takes a big cut of that one. It up in the air and making a running catch on it is Novotna. What a catch by the left fielder.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big relief for Eagles defense. Extraordinary catch. She had a long run, but she took a right jump and was able to slide and extend her glove to make the grab. Excellent play.
It looked like it was going to fall in the hole, but it just hung up there long enough. And Teresa Novotna took off and made that diving catch. And now a chopper up the middle, and they will get the out at second base. That was Slava with the glove and tagging the bag with the glove.
It was a double play ball all the way, and I think timing was right, but she failed to touch the base during that first move, and then was too late to play on first base. So they definitely like to have 2 outs now.
Well, that was the number 9 hitter, Magdalena Kipova, who got aboard by the fielder's choice. And so with 2 out, we're back to the top of the order, and Emma Vodichkova. We can get another look at that.
Yeah, I thought the leg was on the base, but apparently not. And then momentum carried her over, and she had to touch the base with a glove, and that took opportunity of double play.
Sorry, that was Katarzyna Sladkova on first base with the fielder's choice, and it is now the number 9 hitter, Magdalena Kipova, the batter. Getting ahead of myself a little bit. Of course, Sladkova came up with a big walk-off double in the last game in the 7th inning. One of only 2 hits Tempo had in the game, but it was enough to get a 2-1 win.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned that the end of the lineup is not a weak part for Tempo, and it showed last game. And it's definitely good if you can rely on the entire lineup. It puts a lot of stress on the starting pitcher or the pitcher of the other team.
That last pitch in the dirt, Sladkova got a fair bit off the base. Wondering whether it was going to get away from Thompsonova enough to get down to second, but it did not. We'll take a look at the base runner there.
Pitsenova probably needs to aim more for the zone.
That's a line drive right at Slava for the 3rd out. So no harm done there. And Tempo get 1 runner on, but that's all. The Eagles get out of the inning, and we're still scoreless in the middle of the 2nd.
Tempo had some chances, but only found blocks of defense Eagles, which played very well, highlighted by that amazing catch in the left field. So we're still looking for the first run of the game.
Řekla bych, že právě ty těžkosti jsou na nadazování nejhezčí. Člověk musí být fyzicky dobře připravený, musí být mentálně odolný, musí dobře koordinovat práci svého těla, aby byl schopný hodit nadhoz na centimetry přesně a ještě s nějakou dobrou rotací. Když bych měla nalákat mladou hráčku, aby začala nadhazovat, tak ji asi přesvědčím tím, že je klíčovým hráčem na hřišti, že tvoří vlastně základ celé té hry, že drží míč před každou rozehrou, takže je opravdu ten nejdůležitější člověk na hřišti. A já osobně jsem na hřišti stála proti nejlepším hráčkám na světě, ať z Japonska nebo z Ameriky, což asi nemůže každý sportovec říci, takže to je krásný pocit. Díky softballu jsem procestovala i řadu zemí, to je taky jedna velká výhoda a hráčky mohou získat i stipendium například na amerických univerzitách, takže nadhazování super.
Zajku začíná Lucky Hitter, číslem 63.
Yeah, Blahova was interviewed about her experience with pitching. She said traveling is one of the most interesting aspects of being a softball player, I can agree with that. And we are back in the game with Eliška Tamsnová, the best hitter of Eagles lineup, trying to finally get on the base.
Well, she fouled that first pitch away. He's been a familiar name for both the Eagles and the Czech national team for a while.
In a post-game interview last game, Tempo was happy that they were able to contain her. They thought they know how to approach her pitching wise, and she only managed one single.
She pops that one up. It looks like it is playable, and Davidova gets under it to make the catch.
The crack of the bat was decent, but the angle was too high, so it was a harmless fly ball to right field.
So Tempo and Blahova like to get Tomsonova out that quickly. Sabina Boricka, now the batter.
Sabina, another mainstay in the Eagles lineup and another offensive catalyst. So Eagles definitely are looking forward to get something going right now. And we see Blahova being very careful with her. She don't want to throw anything near the center of the zone.
Well, 3-0 now. And there's again Vatskova gonna have a talk to Blahova.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to get it going and don't want to walk her. So I guess we'll try to challenge something.
Well, ball 4.
It was not a bad pitch, but a little bit too wide to the outside. And Boricka was not biting.
Alice Skardova, right fielder.
And finally, the base runner for Eagles.
Yeah. Lays down a bunt, high pitch. Blahova handles it. Over to first for the out, but she does her job, moves the runners along.
It was not a typical sacrifice bunt. It was she was running on the play, and the bunt was a bit too long, so it was an easy play for the defense. But there was no chance for them to play to get a force on the second base.
Klara Chekova, batter. Her sister's also on the team, and her mother is one of the coaches.
And that's fascinating. There is a couple of family relations. I think it's a tradition in both teams, especially Eagles' previous hitter Boricka is member of well-known softball family as well. This goes through many clubs and many generations, or not many, but a couple of, it's a second generation.
Chekova up now 2-1. There's 2 outs. A base hit here with maybe a chance to drive in the first run of this game. Boricka at second base. That pitch in the dirt, and Boricka gets down to third. That's didn't get too far away from Vatskova, but far enough.
And Boricka was having a good jump out of the base, so it was not that difficult for her, even if there was not too far from the catcher. There was no play on third.
makes things a little bit more favorable now for Čechova, a 3-1 count and a runner on third base.
And also extra pressure on Blahova. She cannot afford to throw to dirt and risk a pass ball.
He does catch the corner with that pitch there. Well, that was, we're seeing again the don't know if they scored that a wild pitch or a pass ball. I have to think it would be a pass ball. Ball 4, they were asking if Čechova swung, but after the appeal they say no, and it is a walk. Close.
A borderline call, but yeah, it worked for Eagles, and now they have 2 runners on bases. And they can be creative what to do with the runner on the first.
Another look at it there. Those are always so hard to judge. Of course, the first base umpire had the best view of it, but that bat head is not out there for very long.
That's for sure, and yeah, I would say it was a hairline beyond being not a swing. She couldn't be surprised if he was having a different opinion on her swing, but good for Eagles. She's now happily on the first base by the walk.
Yeah, Lucy Chernohlavkova, sorry.
Yeah, that's a challenging name.
Gotta wonder now if Čechova is thinking about trying to get down to second base somehow, but a 2 away.
Yeah, they could at least force a throw to second base and get something going, some traffic on the bases, force a tempo to do an error.
That's always the game there, and you wonder if they try to take the bait on the throw and get the runners in motion. Big swing there, and she is down to second base, no throw.
Was most likely a hit and run. She was stealing the second. That's a advantage of having 2 outs. You don't have to worry about ball being caught for double play.
Now 1 and 2 is now the count. Runners in scoring position, gets a piece of it. That's going to be a fair ball. Chutilova handles it over to Klimishunova for the out. So a bit of a 2-out rally there for the Eagles, but Tempo do get out of it, and we're still scoreless.
Yeah, Klimushkinova was thinking about fielding the ball herself, but wisely retreated to first and led the second baseman to flip the ball to her, and there was a harmless ground ball to end the inning.
Za námi jsou 2 směny dnešního utkání, ukončená druhá směna a na řadu přichází tedy druhé losování stupenek. Takže vytáhněte si své lístky a začínáme. Číslo 1422. 1422. Druhá cena 1412. 1412. Třetím šťastným lístkem v této přestávce je lístek číslem 1294. 1294.
Za Eagles bude hodnotit druhou a ještě se vrátíme i k první směně Klára Čejková. Tak Kláro, nejprve začneme tou první směnou. Jak těžká to byla vlastně situace, protože jste, řekněme, utekli Hrobníkovi z lopaty?
No, já si myslím, že pro holky v poli to musela být strašně těžká situace, protože takhle v první směně naplnit mety, to je těžký zvládnout, ale zvládli to skvěle, takže skvělý.
Vy jste pak se v druhé směně, konkrétně spoluhráčka Tereza Novotná, prezentovali skvělou rybičkou. V čem je vlastně tahle část pole specifická? V čem to bylo těžké?
No, je to taková ta část pole, kde je prostě mezera, je velmi těžký chytit ty balony, ale úterky se ta ryba dala čekat, ona je hodně skáče a věřili jsme, že to zvládne.
Náro, díky.
Prosím.
You've seen a big smile on the face of Klára Čejková. She, being designated player in this game, was happy that she wasn't part of defense, which was under pressure in the first inning, but she was very optimistic about the chances of her teammates making defensive plays, and she was really appreciating the effort of Novotná in the left field, getting that liner.
Well, we're still scoreless after all that. To the top of the order for tempo now in the third inning, and Emma Vodičková.
Vodičková finally let something go to the catcher after jumping on the first and only pitch she's seen so far in this game.
Yeah, she led off the game, the first pitch of the game, with a base hit into left field, got to third, and then ended up being part of that inning-ending double play, forced out at home.
And she has interesting stance in the box, and also holds bat a little bit shorter, so she's definitely ready for jumping on another pitch. And now waved on the ball in the dirt, so a little bit too anxious.
Well, now suddenly it's 1-2, as Vitinova will take that gift. Probably some movement on that pitch, I'd imagine. Maybe
yeah, that could be one thing that she might be fooled, but maybe her aggressiveness played against her, and Eagles could take advantage of that.
She pops this one up. Under it this time is the center fielder, Kopitsova.
Yeah, that was easy play for Kopitsova in the center. The ball was traveling for way too long.
The center fielder, also the leadoff hitter for the Eagles. She took charge of that one, as a center fielder should.
And they spend a lot of time practicing balls like that in this field, so yeah, it was an easy matter for her to dispatch the first out.
So Mikhaila Chutilova, the second baseman, struck out the first time up.
Yeah, but it only happened after 2 attempts of bonding, so now she has a different task with the first wide open to get on base herself. So she might be swinging all the time. Two balls so far.
Yes. Chutilova's got a much more favorable position or situation batting this time, and it's now 3-0.
And it's not that easy as it sounds, because she definitely don't want to miss ball which hits a sweet spot in her zone, but at the same time she might let the pitcher earn some strikes.
And so she draws a walk on 4 straight pitches and is aboard with 1 out in the third.
Yeah, way too many walks in this game. Eagles still haven't managed a hit, and yet they had 2 base runners.
Been walks for both teams. Katarzyna Vacková basically the same situation she was in last time she came up, and she hits this one into right field. The right fielder makes the catch. Skardova.
Another easy fly. Outfield's playing fairly shallow on pretty much everybody from tempo, so those weak fly balls are very easy to be handled by them.
Well, now again a bit of a powwow here with 2 out and a runner on in the top of the 3rd inning. We're seeing the tempo offense talking.
Not really sure who called the time, if that's offensive discussion with Matěj Humaj at the 3rd, trying to generate some offense out of his team, or if that's defensive because both catches were out.
Well, it is their cleanup hitter batting now, Anna Dušková. She was hit in the ankle by a pitch her first time up.
But doesn't look like having any lingering effects on her. Could hurt, but
she takes a strike on that pitch.
She is eager to get some revenge by well-played hit and moving the runner over.
Dušková, another former national team player on this team. She played in 2017. Shows bunt here. Takes it. That's just trying to get the gunner. They have a chance and they get her. So Eliška Thompsonova shows the arm there, throwing out to Čutilova at second base, who didn't get a very good jump.
Yeah, she was running, trying to get that situation. Not sure if there was really like a steal, or if they try to play hit and run as well. But yeah, what to say? It was a great throw from the catcher.
Yeah, from her knees, in fact, that was a throw by Thompsonova. Čutilova maybe thought she got her arm in there, but nonetheless, we're still scoreless heading to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Ženský Ačko už spolu hraje hrozně dlouho, vlastně celou tu dobu, co jsem já v Krči, což je nějaká 5. sezóna. Myslím si, že naše velká síla je právě to, že ten tým spolu už funguje dlouhou dobu. Je to skvělý mix zkušených hráček, které mají odehráno strašně moc zápasů v reprezentaci na úrovni mistrovství Evropy, mistrovství světa a zároveň hráček, které do té reprezentace nějakým způsobem míří. Naší největší devízou je určitě útok z těch soubolových dovedností, což jsme asi ukázali i minulý rok v playoffu a všichni to o nás vědí. Takže my spoléháme na tým a spoléháme na sílu na pálce. Zároveň je k tomu ale potřeba dodat, že děláme málo chyb, takže myslím si, že ta síla je v té komplexnosti.
Well, we're underway in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's Tereza Novotná, the batter. She attempted bunt on that first pitch, but I think she bunted it off of herself and it was a dead ball.
Meanwhile, in the interview with the manager of Eagles, he was stressing that the forte of his club is generating offense, but we are still waiting for the first hit from Eagles and first run of the game.
Good bunt again, drops this one down. Blahova's going to take it herself, the throw and the out. So Novotná unable to get aboard via the bunt.
But definitely it was a good attempt of reaching the base against a tough pitcher. Instead of just hitting away, give the offense another dimension and put Tempo's defense under further pressure.
Back to the top of the order now, and Natalia Kopicová. grounded out to shortstop her first time up.
Blahova was probably not happy about the way she landed because she was pounding the ground trying to improve the spot where she jumps. So
Well,
that was probably the result why the first throw was very poor into the dirt.
Kopitsova fouls that one off. Yeah, we see her looking at it again, and that can be a problem sometimes when two pitchers have different landing spots.
Absolutely, yeah. That's for some pitchers with the aggressive style, you can get really a ditch in a way which is not pleasant for you. So you have to deal with that. So there is some groundwork for you waiting every half inning.
The count now 2-2 to Kopitsova. One out here in the bottom of the third inning. Little ground ball, third base. Klečková over to Klimizova Inova to get the out.
It was not an easy play because momentum took Blahova way towards the third base and she had to make 180-degree turn before firing it across the infield for the first out. But she managed that flawlessly. Very good defense.
And that's two ground outs by Kopitsova to the left side of the infield as we get another look at that one. Slaba strokes a single into right field. He doesn't even turn there, just runs through the bag. It was hit so sharply.
Yeah, that's the first hit for Eagles. I was just about to say that Eagles only managed very weak contact against Blahova, but Slaba hit the ball into the right field with authority. So first base runner via hit for Eagles. And finally opportunity to get something going.
Now the number 3 hitter, Jana Hilova, grounded out to second base to end the inning back in the first.
And there are 2 outs now, but also the heart of the order is coming, and if Hilova gets on base, Temple is asking for trouble.
Fouls that pitch away. As Slaba got a fair jump off the first base there, as we see Eagles coach Petr Marek, or Eda as he's known.
I'm sure Hilova is now exactly at the spot where she wants to be. Get that offense going and move the runner over, get herself on base and set the table for Thompsonova. At the same time, she's dangerous enough hitter to bring the runner from the first base. Oh, but she's hit instead.
She's not happy about it either, by the body language showing taking her pads off there. That stung right in the arm there, and you can even see the facial expression there.
Yeah. Let's wait for the reply. Definitely it hurts, even if you have a guard.
Well, two on now for Eliška Thompsonova. We saw her arm there as a catcher throw out that runner from her knees, and she threw out to right field last inning. She's got a couple of runners on base now to try to drive in.
And there is no doubt she can start some scoring with a single swing of the bat, especially with the runner being in the scoring position on second.
It's Novotna at second. Pop up. That hits the light standard, so it's going to come back on the field, but it's out of play.
She was a little bit too late on that swing and also let her hands fall down, so that resulted in the high pop in our direction.
Fans getting into it now, hoping to see a little bit of a 2-out rally. It was also in the second inning. It was 2 outs when they started to get things going. It pops. It wasn't up, but it's going to stay in the infield. Klečková is under it. She will make the catch. That was close. A bit of miscommunication between her and Vodičková, but makes the catch for the 3rd out.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough time for her because she lost the count of outs and she was trying to make another play before realizing it's all over.
You see the Vodičková a bit nervous by that one, but they do get the out, and after 3 innings, we're still looking for our first run of the game.
Kateřina Sládková. Kateřina Sládková, hráčka Tempa Praha, která mimochodem v úterý rozhodla vzájemný souboj těchto týmů. Kateřino, co jste si vlastně odnesli z té úterní výhry?
Myslím, že jsme si odnesli zejména chuť vyhrát znovu a to vědomí, že se to dá ten zápas otočit vlastně i posledním hitem na poslední out.
Vy hrajete vlastně prvním rokem stabilně Extraligu, tak by mě zajímalo porovnání Extraligy s těmi nižšími soutěžemi.
Je to o dost nahecovaní, že člověk si nemůže moc dovolit udělat žádnou chybu a nesoustředit se ani chvíli, to je velký rozdíl proti tomu, kdy ve 3. lize se to dá otočit v podstatě kdykoliv. Tady člověk musí dávat pozor opravdu celý zápas.
Zatím se vám to daří, díky.
The interview was about the differences of playing for the first season in the top league and the minor leagues. And we also seen umpiring crew inspecting the pitching rubber.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about that landing spot for the 2 pitchers, and obviously these 2, Blahová and Vícenová, have different landing spots and like their mound a bit different. So Vícenová gets set for her her 4th inning of work. She gave up 2 hits in the 1st inning, but that's been it so far. The ground ball right at the 3rd baseman. She's got a bit of trouble with it. That's Borecka, the 3rd baseman. I think that went off her glove and maybe caught her in the chin.
Yeah, it was a bit painful awakening for her. Didn't field it cleanly and was hit in the face. But in time to recover and throw through to the first 4 out. With the previous situation around pitching rubber, umpiring crew made the plate clean, so it's always a sign that they might be eventually warning the pitchers about possible illegal call. Not sure if that was the case.
Well, the batter now, Johanna Klimušinova. Klimušinova, she hit into that double play back in the 1st inning, the 1-2-3 inning double play. As Tempo was threatening with bases loaded and 1 out.
Yeah, this was, I would say, the biggest spot of this game so far, because there was a huge opportunity for Tempo, and that double play was really big for Eagles. They let some traffic on the bases, but were able to keep Tempo from scoring. Healthy hack from Klimuškinova, but fouled.
think we mentioned before, Klimushkinova is a new member of this team, originally from the Kotlarska club. Several softball clubs here in Prague.
Right, and it's also interesting because there is now in the men's part of the softball there is a cooperation between Radotín, which you mentioned earlier as a source of another player, and Kotlarska. And the new club is basically a joint venture called the Tunnelers, because both clubs are connected by the tunnel going under the Strahu Hill.
But Radotín, that's a nice park down there.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice place to go, except of difficult traffic situation on Friday evening. So
well, you can take the train.
That's true.
I've gone down there a few times. Take the train, a couple of stops down to Radotín. In any event, Klimushkinova draws a walk. So with one out and one runner on, it's Barbara Klečková will be the hitter.
Yeah, you can't take the tram to the first base, but you can take a walk there.
Some players would like to take the train there, or a bus or something. But
yeah, I'm one of those. Well, we have a runner courtesy that the walk. Let's see if Tempo is able to get somebody across their home plate for the first run of the game.
That runner on first base, as you mentioned, is Magdalena Rubešová, who is a new member of this team. Just a week or so ago, celebrated her 19th birthday, one of the younger players on the team.
The previous foul ball hit the car of the TV crews, so there was some upset there. And we also see some movement in Eagles bullpen. The other pitcher is warming up. Not sure what will be the plan for pitching coach Stanislav Havel, how long he wants to keep Itzenova in the game. I'm pretty sure he wants to spread the load, but at the same time this is a scoreless game, and again it might be difficult to get runs over, so the defense is in a premium.
It's also early in the season. I don't know if that would be a bit of a consideration. Kurpsova pitched the last game, and she only went into the 5th inning despite only giving up one hit.
Yeah, sure. The fact the season started early and also the season will be shorter, it was difficult to practice the way, even if you were allowed to practice. Eagles were very strict on the rules, who can get into the park because of the situation. Actually, the park was split into 2 halves, and softball has a separate entrance, so it was basically effort to really keep people separated. So it was difficult to get ready for the season.
Yeah, this park here, if we mentioned it before, has 5 diamonds, 2 for baseball and 3 for softball. A very big complex here in Prague.
And it's amazing facility. I remember when there was just one softball field when Kirch moved there, or Eagles moved there, not under that name at the time. And this was like a completely different area. It was a valley near the small river there, but it was flattened out, and it created space for 5 fields, and also it generated resources needed to build the field. So that's why it's so beautiful.
Well, back-to-back walks now issued by Vicenova. That's Klečkova on first now, and Michaela Davidova up with 2 runners on.
And golden opportunity for Tempo to take advantage of those walls, because this is what Eagles can afford.
In there for a strike. Important that Vicenova gets ahead of her.
And we also hear that Tempo dugout is really humming right now. They're trying to support the hitter, and they try to score first. It's very noisy there at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of people in the stands buzzing too. A lot of players, as we can see in the stands, as Davidova takes a big cut at that pitch and is behind 0-2 now.
Yeah, I had a look through the stands in the intermission between the innings inning before, and I've seen a lot of familiar faces. There is a equipe of former Eagles players in white T-shirts, former coaching staff of the team.
The ground ball is going to find a hole in the right field, and that could score a run. The play at the plate, Rubešova, the pinch runner, scores. So Rubešova, she's got obviously put in the pinch run for her speed, and she generates the first run of this game.
Yeah, it looked like a very interesting play at the home plate. After a clean single to right, there was a good strong throw from the right fielder. Unfortunately, she pulled the catcher out of the home plate. Otherwise, time-wise, she had plenty of time to tag the runner, but because she had to go away to field the throw, that happened. That there is first run.
A pop up and dropped. That was, I think, they're going to rule that a foul ball. That was very close to the line there.
Yeah,
that was actually the shortstop Slaba who got down the line, because
I would say she got ahead of herself, because there was a double play ball all the way, and she was already thinking about a flip to the third base to complete the double play, but she forgot she has to catch the ball first.
Well, as mentioned, that was the shortstop Slaba, as Borečka started coming in when Sladkova showing bunt there. Shows bunt again, takes a cut at that one, pops it up, and Hilova gets under it for the second out.
So at least that doesn't hurt them immediately, but they still only have 2 outs, and they're still not out of the bushes yet. Could be double play, and hopefully Slaba is definitely rooting for another out to happen, because it was a big mistake on her part.
That was Sladkova, and Magdalena Kipova now comes to bat. She came up in the second inning, popped up to shortstop.
First pitch nowhere near the zone. Maybe it's a game plan to again try to take advantage of aggressivity of Tempo hitters and make them chase something way out of the zone.
The called strike there. Vicenova does have first base open, but with the number 9 hitter back up now, she'd probably rather end the inning now than deal with the top of the order and the bases loaded.
Yeah, absolutely. She don't want to get it any farther.
Little ground ball. Chernohlavka will handle it over to first base to get the out. So Tempo gets some base runners and finally break through with the first run of this game. It was Michaela Davidova with the RBI single. And so, as we take a look at the third out there, to the bottom of the fourth inning we go, and it's Tempo leading 1-0.
My máme hodně mladý tým, který je vlastně z většiny složený z hráček mladších 21 let. Obměnu nemáme téměř žádnou. Jeden hráč ze zdravotních důvodů skončil, jedna hráčka odešla na hostování do jiného týmu. Jinak jsme vlastně ve stejném složení, co jsme byli i loňský rok. Příprava proběhla úplně standardně, jako jakýkoliv jiný sezóny, akorát to potom rozboural ten problém s koronavirem, ale myslím, že jsme se s ním vypořádali v rámci možností dobře. Druhým rokem máme halu, kterou se podle mě řadíme mezi špičku v České republice, co se týče tréninkových podmínek. Hodně nám to právě ulehčilo tu přípravu během té koronavirové krize. Cíle máme určitě dostat se do play-off a pokud možno prolomit to prokletí ve čtvrtfinále, což je vždycky nejtěžší. A snad se nám zadaří, no.
We've heard Matej Humaj, familiar face out of the Tempo, discussing their off-season preparation and how difficult it was because of the circumstances. Tempo is back, trying to defend their slim lead.
Yeah, you were mentioning that a bit the last inning about some of the challenges these players had trying to train for the season. As we see Sabina Borecka up to bat. She walked the first time up. Pops this one up, and will it stay in play? Vachkova's got that mask off and just makes the catch. Those can be tough plays when it gets up high in the air like that. The players all have a little laugh about it.
Yeah, it was an interesting play because the ball was getting back to the field, but it was still in full territory, and there were too many players ready to catch it. But catcher was in the best position. She manage the situation.
It did look like she was a little bit slow to pick the ball up, though. It can be a problem sometimes, but nonetheless they got the out. So Škardova, who had the sack bunt back in the second inning, now bats in the fourth.
Yeah, and wild cat on a ball which was way outside of the zone. She was running at the same time, so that's difficult. She was probably ready to execute that before the pitch. And now quickly 0-2. The worst thing you can do, worst combination, swing on the pitch outside of the zone and then let the next pitch, which is well inside of the zone.
Well, that pitch did look high and she swung and missed.
And completed trilogy of waving on the third pitch.
Well,
he's definitely not happy about that performance.
Yeah, but it's tough when it's 0-2 and you have to be ready to protect.
Absolutely, yeah, that was not a pleasant situation, but it all started with that first violent cut on the ball outside of the zone, and then she had to deal with the consequences.
So Klara Čejková, we remember her the last time, and she hits this one to center fielder. Duškova goes back and makes a great catch in center field. That one looked like it was going to get over her head, but Anna Duškova in center field with a running catch.
Now, I don't want to take anything out of that earlier sliding catch in the left field, but that was so far the play of the game. It really saved the run because there was no chance they could get her before reaching home if that ball fall on the ground.
So a great inning. I mean, this would have been maybe a triple if that one falls in. Nonetheless, that ends the inning. They go down in order in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're off to the fifth already. 1-0 Tempo.
Po čtvrté směně bude hovořit nejzkušenější hráčka Eagle Sabina Borecka. Sabino, vy jste vlastně několikrát měli naplněné mety, bod jste nedali. Co teď? Je třeba měnit nějakou taktiku nebo stačí obyčejná trpělivost postupovat?
Tak zápas se blíží ke konci, takže je potřeba teďka trošku zabrat, abychom dotáhli alespoň ten bod. A já myslím, že trpělivost bude stačit, jsme na míči, teďka jsme viděli krásný bodpad, takže ještě přidáme a ono to přijde.
Když se vrátím k tomu bodu Tempa, co tam nefungovalo?
Tak oni měli nějaký odpaly pěkný, já si teďka úplně nepamatuju, jsem trošku v tranzu, ale trošku líp pálej teďka momentálně, než my.
Dobře, díky.
So we are back there, and there was an interesting interview with Sabina Borecka. The question was, what was the reason why Tempo scored? Her answer was very quick. She said, "I'm in the zone and I don't really remember what happened." But we wanted to discuss that earlier. The reason for that were 2 walks, and this is what exactly Eagles can't really afford. They can't walk people. That was direct consequence of the first run.
Well, yeah, and then they did actually get a look at the RBI single there by Davidova. And if you're wondering, those of you listening around the world, why all the interviews are in Czech, well, first of all, of course, we are in the Czech Republic, but this feed is also going to Czech television. That reporter there, Darina Vimetalikova of Česká televize, doing the interviews with the players. We're back to the top of the order now for Tempo. As remember, Kipova was the last out, and Emma Vodičková. She hits that one hard to left field, and that one's going to get over the head of the left fielder Novotná, and she's into second base with a stand-up double.
Yeah, we also missed one important piece of information before that play happening. There is a new pitcher for Krč, so that was again a very rude welcome courtesy hit from Tempo. And she plays herself on the second base.
Well, the pitcher, as we see her name on there, Tereza Kurbcová, she started the game on Tuesday and actually pitched a very good game. Of course, that, as you mentioned, that's not the way she wants to start there now. As Chumilova drops down a bunt there, they do get her out at first, but Vodičková moves over to third.
Yeah, well executed bunt, good defense. There was absolutely no play on third, so they managed the out, but now the runner is close to the home plate. Matej Humaj has some options. See if they try to go for squeeze.
Well,
showing the bunt now.
Trying to open up this lead a little bit. Fouls off the first pitch.
Everybody clap your hands.
It's maybe another way how to put more pressure on the new pitcher. But you were right that it was a good game from Kurbcová on Tuesday, and also I would say the pair of pitchers we've seen from Eagles are very close performance-wise. For Tempo, Blahová is clear ace, so we might see her trying to close that game with a lead.
Well, we'll see what happens when we move to the bottom of the fifth. But right now, we've got Vatskova showing bunt again on the 1-1 pitch. Didn't look like she was planning on bunting though when the pitch came. 2-1 now.
It was a very close pitch, but Radek Tuma called it as a ball. So now we have 2 balls and strike.
Vatskova 1 for 2 so far in the game. Count goes to 3-1.
Tough situation for Eagles. They can't really afford to cede another run. 0-2 is not that big hole, but they difficult time to
She
score.
hits that one in the outfield, and that's going to get the... Oh, she's hung up now between first and second as she took the wide turn. Are they going to get her out? They do. She does manage to drive in the run, though. Vatskova, with that hit, took the wide turn. Scores the run to make it 2-0.
That was a beautiful single. There was no contest at the home plate because runner was running from third. And because there was no throw, they can easily throw her on the second.
Well, she was thinking about second because Skardova fell, but then she recovered very quickly and got the throw in, and then she was caught in no man's land.
Yeah. A little bit too of energy, adrenaline after that beautiful single, which scored another run.
Yeah, she can't be too unhappy, as you say. So now base is empty and 2 out for Anna Dushkova.
Which is a pity for Tempo, because maybe that could end their offense soon and relieve the pressure which was on the new pitcher. And maybe the 2 runs they have is not enough, so that could be really like a big turning point.
Well, Krupsova's probably not happy with giving up the run already, but now she's got 2 out and nobody on base, so she can just settle down now and concentrate on Dushkova. Gets a little piece of that, and that's a little floater right back to Krupsova, so she gets out of the inning. But Tempo do add another run there, and as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, they lead 2-0.
Yeah, and Eagles need to generate some offense right now. They don't have time. They have to score now. So it will be interesting to watch.
Loňská sezóna byla hodně nabitá. V reprezentaci jsme měli 2 velké cíle a určitě nejlepší moment celé sezóny byl postup na olympijskou kvalifikaci, kde jsme odehráli docela dobrý turnaj a pak samozřejmě hrát olympijskou kvalifikaci, tak to je snad snem každého sportovce. Za Eagles, za klub, tak to jsme měli možnost hrát pohár evropský tady u nás na hřišti. Tak to byl krásný zážitek a jsem moc ráda, že to pro nás klub mohl uspořádat. Co se týče domácích soutěží, tak jsme se probojovali do playoff. Ve čtvrtfinále a semifinále jsme odehráli skvělý zápasy, pálili jsme, co se dalo. Pak ve finále jsme tedy bohužel s Ledenicema prohráli, ale bylo to skvělé zakončení celé sezóny.
There was a short summary of the last season from Eliška Tomsnova, and now we see a new hitter, pinch hitter, Kopkova.
Well, she's already ahead in the count 2-0, and she hits a ground ball to second base. A little bit of trouble with it. Kuchilova can't come up with it. That's going to be scored an error. And Kopkova is aboard. That might be the little opening in the door that the Eagles need here.
Yeah, after watching a replay, probably the speed of the runner played in her favor, because fielder was...
Now lays down a bunt. That's Novotna. Advances the runner to second base.
Yeah, let me finish that quickly. The defender on the second base seen the runner approaching first quickly. She tried to just flip the ball with her glove, but she wasn't able to locate it. definitely an error on her part.
Yeah, when I saw the replay again, I thought it maybe did take a little bit of a hop and hit her in the shoulder. Nonetheless, we're back to the top of the order now, and it's Kopitsova 0 for 2 today. Is that going to be fair? It is a fair ball down the left field line, and that's going to score a run. RBI double for Natalia Kopitsova, and it's 2-1.
Can be placed any better. That's what you call the advantage of a home field, because it was right on the line, and that was the only question which left after hitting that ball very well, and it was fair. And fortunately for Eagles, that cuts the lead in half, and they are still in scoring position. Great place to tie this game again.
Well, yeah, now Kopitsova, as you say, is at second base. Gabriela Slaba, now the hitter. She's 1 for 2 today. She had, well, before that hit by Kopitsova, she had the only hit of the game for the Eagles. So just get to the part of the order now that they want. We take another look at that, and I think, oh, that didn't exactly hit the line, but it was just inside the line.
Yeah, so maybe there are like 2 inches still left before the ball was full.
From where I was sitting, it's right in line with the pole, and I didn't see exactly where it lands, so I wasn't sure if it had landed fair or foul. As Slava takes a strike, sorry. Yeah, it landed right there, and I had to look for the umpire's signal to see whether that was a fair ball or foul.
But this is a perfect situation for Eagles to get this game back into their hands, because the top of the lineup's coming.
Well, yeah, and the fans here, you can hear them really getting into that now.
Yeah, everybody understands the situation. Eagles in the dugout are very, very loud as well. In fact, they are crazy all game. So
Pops that one up. I don't know if anybody's going to have a chance. That was Kipova. Kipova actually gave it a pretty good chase, but just too far away.
Yeah, it was a ball into similar territory, about the same distance, but this one was slicing way too much into the foul territory and sliced away from the reach of the fielders. The Slava still battling with 2 strikes.
Swings at that pitch in the dirt. I don't know if they are going to throw down to first. Are they? Did they call her out on it? Slaba is trying to say that the ball hit the ground and therefore it should have been a live ball, but she's not going to win that argument.
Yeah. At the time when she started to run on the first, the umpiring crew already made their decision.
So, still a runner on base. And I think they, Marek is trying to call time. I think he might want to discuss that actually. Oh no, he's going to talk to Hulova. I thought maybe he wanted to discuss with the umpire about the last call, but it's an offensive timeout now for the Eagles. They still do have a runner in scoring position, but now 2 outs for Jana Hilova.
Yeah, it will be too late to try to argue that situation with Radek Tuma, and also they have a different concern right now. They need to get that runner across the home plate, and Hilova is ideal for that, being in the 3 spot in the lineup.
Well, as you say, the catcher Vatskova was obviously quite certain that it was an out because she didn't even bother throwing it to first. Otherwise, she surely would have had the out easily. And wow, look at the Eagles players really dancing in the dugout now, as they're really trying to get the 2-out rally going now. Jana Hilova.
Yeah, another explanation would be that the catcher was confused, because she looked a little bit confused, but decided not to throw anywhere with the runner on the base. Could help with the decision.
Oh, that pitch really gets away from Blahova. and Kopicova down to third base. That was well over the head of Vackova.
Yeah, there was no chance for catcher to catch the ball, and it also got a weird help from the netting behind, so easy move to the third base for the runner.
Now 1-1 on Khilova. The tying run on third base takes a big cut at that one, 1-2. She was really trying to tie this game.
Yeah, she is a team captain, so exactly what do you expect from her? Take responsibility, but it was way too aggressive. And now she has 2 strikes. Let's see. Wow, that was close.
Well, that was, and I was just looking for the indication from Tuma there. And we'll take another look. So Vackova was set up well outside on that pitch.
Yeah, it was not an easy situation, and knowing Radek for years, I'm pretty certain she don't like judging those kind of balls where it's really borderline and he can call it on either side.
So the situation intensifies just a little bit. 2-2 the count now, 2 out. The tying run on third base. The number 3 hitter up to, yes, exactly.
Looming.
That one's popped up, but I think it is playable for Dushkova. She calls it. She's got it. So the Eagles do come up with a very big run there in the bottom of the 5th inning. They still trail by 1, however. As we head to the 6th and we take a look at that last out.
Yeah, she looked like taking a wrong jump on the ball, but there was plenty of time for her to recover.
Well, as we've seen from her earlier in the game, she doesn't need much. She can, if it's up in the air long enough, she'll get to it.
A za tempo teď bude hodnotit Anna Dušková. Eagles změnili nadhazovačku, tak jaká je to změna pro vás?
Je to, myslím si, že velká změna, protože to je změna v té rychlosti a celkově i v technice toho nadhazování, takže je to velká změna pro mě. A pro nás si myslím, že celkově pro tým.
Každá nadhazovačka má asi oblíbenou taktiku. Já to vezmu z druhé strany. Jaký oblíbený nadhoz máte vy? Na co ráda pálíte?
Ráda, no tak nejoblíbenější jsou středáky, ale ty se moc neházejí, takže asi bych řekla nějaký vyšší jako inside, no.
V minulé směně i teď vlastně se prezentoval takovým chytem na dlouhý odpal, tak jak je vlastně tohleto složité a co je přitom nejdůležitější?
Tak nejdůležitější je asi odhad míče, který jakoby bych řekla, že nemám nejhorší, ale zase není úplně nejlepší, proto jsem tam vypadám, že to hraju poprvé.
Dnes ne.
Ale no jako nejdůležitější prostě fakt je vidět ten míč a mít odhad na to, kam ten míč poletí, si myslím v zadním pole.
Super, díky, se daří.
It was interesting explanation of what happened in the center. The last play, she acknowledged that sometimes she gets a wrong jump, but anyway, it was a tremendous performance from her. So we might give her a little bit benefit of doubt as she knows what she's doing in the defense.
And it's an easy to misjudge a ball off the bats a little bit. But we've seen her make at least one very fine catch in center field. Now as we get top of the 6th inning now, as we're getting toward the time of the game when any run's going to be important, it is Johanna Klimushkinkova.
Absolutely, another insurance run for Tempo will be huge. Now they've seen their margin shrink to just one run. They definitely want to get some offense right now.
Back in the 4th inning, she's been up twice already. She grounded into a double play and walked.
There was another aspect mentioned in that short interview that the pitching style of the two pitchers is very different, and there is also a difference in the speed. So we'll see how Tempo will catch up to a different pitching style of Krpcová.
Well, even just that pitch you just threw now, and I've seen that Krpcová seems to change speeds a lot on her pitches.
Yes, yeah, I would agree with that. She is working with the timing more. Itzenova was more up and down in the zone, so location was a key for her. Krpcová is really toying with the speed.
I remember that
might be difficult for hitters to catch up.
I remember in that pitch she got Dushkova to hit that little floater back to her. It was a bit of a change-up that she was way in front of and just got a little piece of. But nonetheless, we're now 2-2 now on Klimushkinova.
Yeah,
Let's just get a piece of that one to stay alive.
That's advantage if you can really throw change up effectively. You can make a lot of swings which look very foolish or ugly.
And Thompsonova not happy. I mean, not happy that she wouldn't manage to hang onto that ball which would have made it a strikeout.
Yeah, that was difficult.
And yeah, that was a change up there, but it plunked her right in the hip, and Klimushkinova is on base again. And the thigh.
That's what makes a changeup especially effective, if you can make it flow and move away or into the hitter. So once she commits to swing, it might turn out that it's not in the zone, but also it makes it difficult and dangerous, so you can hit a hitter with that slow offering.
Well, last time Klimushkinova got on base, she was lifted for a pinch runner. That's not going to happen this time, as that would take her out of the game. Barbara Klečková is now the batter, with nobody out and a runner on first base. She's walked twice today. They wouldn't mind another walk.
Exactly, and we already discussed that this is something which Eagles can't really afford. There is no way for Klimushkinova to come out of the game. They need her for defense and eventually another turn at bat. And it's not a desperate situation, so they can live with a slower runner on the bases for the time being.
Krpcová ahead on Klečková, 0-2. This would be a big strikeout to get. Klečková fouls it back.
And Krpcová is looking very comfortable on the mound. Except of that hit batter, she looks in very good command of her pitches. So it's time for Tempo not to make her very comfortable.
As she gets the strikeout there. So one down in the top of the 6th inning. Michaela Davidová coming to bat. She's hit the ball well today. Flew out to left field first time up, and with the RBI single the second time.
Yeah, again we mentioned the bottom of the lineup is coming, but for Tempo it's not a disadvantage in this game actually. This is one of the run producers.
Chased a pitch out of the zone, 0-1.
Well, it was a good swing, but on the pitch out of the zone. So maybe again she let her aggressiveness play against her.
fouls another pitch as Klimoshkinova not showing any signs of getting too far off the base on these pitches.
Yeah, she's just watching and being the best fan and trying to get moves over all the way to home.
You see the Eagles coaches in the dugout discussing strategy. Maybe talking about the lineup in the bottom of the 6th inning. That pitch, call the ball.
Hard to say what's going on, but they are definitely concerned that they need to score that run, and time is running out quickly.
Well, they do have the 4, 5, and 6 batters coming up in the inning. The ground ball to third base. It's Borecka over to Filova for the out. 2 away.
It was interesting to see that Borecka didn't try to get the a little bit slower lead runner on the second. And there was enough time for her to do that, but she probably wisely took the safety of the second out on the first instead of throwing the ball to the right field.
And Sladkova takes a strike.
So it's a designated hitter for Tempo. That late in the game, it's sometimes difficult to keep the concentration level up.
Looks like she hit it pretty well, but it goes right to Chernohlavka, who handles it to get the third out.
Exactly, it was a full contact, but right at the fielder. Nothing to show for that.
So they did get a runner in the scoring position, but that's all they'll do. Because Chernohladka handles that one well, and it's still 2-1 Tempo going to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and look for that movement on pitch front.
Letošní rok je pro Eagles opravdu speciální. Z důvodu vzniklé situace jsme museli zrušit téměř všechny akce v areálu, což náš chod poměrně hodně ovlivnilo. Na druhou stranu se aspoň můžeme soustředit na vlastní sportovní činnost, hlavně na naši mládež a na náš seniorský softbalový ženský tým, který míří letos na nejvyšší metu, a to je na titul. Letos budeme také pořádat 3. ročník akce Ladies Day, kterou jsme posunuli na září. Na tu se strašně moc těšíme, protože by to mělo být jakýsi vyvrcholení akce, kterých letos mělo být hodně, ale bude pouze jediná. Nejvíce aktivit čekáme na podzim, kde chceme získat mistrovský titul jak ze softballové extraligy žen, tak i z baseballu.
The 2-1 Tempo as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's Eliška Thompsonová leading off for the Eagles.
Yeah, crucial moment for Eagles, as they need Thompsonová to get on base and tie the game. Lately, there was an interview with, what is his role, a manager of the club, Jan Brabek, discussing that they will be busy in the.
And that's a fair ball. And Thompsonová is aboard.
With a bit of luck, Blahova wasn't able to stay on her feet and knocked the ball out of her hands.
So maybe not quite the way she planned to do it, but Thompsonová is aboard.
It was a well-placed blooper, just out of the reach of Blahova. If she never touched the ball, could roll out of the field for foul ball, but as she touched it in the third territory, it was probably scored an error, but it was tough play for a pitcher because it was very well placed. No chance for the catcher.
I'd have a tough time scoring that an error, but I'm not the official scorer. But we're having a bit of a meeting there, and I'm just wondering if they do have action tempo warming up. Chelakova is warming up. No, that's Stenglova we could see down the line warming up.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was a very tough situation. It was difficult for her, but unfortunately it might be charge and error on her. Anyway, it's a base runner.
So Borecka lays down a bunt, and again Blahova has trouble with it. She does get the out at first base though. Thompsonova moves down to third.
Yeah, she bobbled the ball again, but she had time to recover, but at the expense of Thompsonova moving to third. So a bit of shaky defense on Tempo's side. They have third base loaded with just one out, and let's see if that doesn't affect her Blahova pitching, because two not very successful attempts in defense.
Well, now Alica Skardova, little ground ball to Blahova again. Checks Thompsonova. They're going to have her hung up, but she gets back to third base. So the fielder's choice, Skardova is aboard. It's first and third. I don't know. What do you think about that play to go after Thompsonova at third base?
Yeah, well, that's why you have teammates. It would be easy out on the first because it was a weak grounder, but Thompsonova helped her a lot. She put herself into that man territory, but she was able to slide under the tag. So great play for her, great effort, and now they have two bases loaded with one out only to show for that. So great smart play on her behalf, I would say.
When we saw that replay, she was actually a fair bit off of third base, and she was probably maybe afraid, as we're going to see Skardova get down to second base now, uncontested, with Klara Chekova now the batter. But she was probably afraid if she threw it to third base right away, Thompsonova would take off for home. That might have been the fear.
Could be.
Nonetheless, well, Thompsonova now at third base, Skardova at second base. One out, and the batter is Klara Chekova. Oh for 1 today.
Good cut by Chekova. This is exactly where you want to be in this part of the game. Base is loaded, so any contact means you are probably going to tie the game or take a lead.
Pitch outside, 1-2.
The advantage of this situation is that the runner from third can run hard on the grounder, putting extra pressure on the defense.
Well, that pitch is in the dirt. And you can see Chekova wants to protect. She thought about it, but that pitch bounced off the plate.
I would say the body language of her practice swings show that she doesn't want to do too much. She just wants to make contact and let her run to first.
And she hits it sharply to third base. Look, cut down. Thompsonova cut down at the plate. So that's a break for Tempo. They get the second out. The lead runner. Sharply hit ball to third base there.
Yeah, I think there might be an argument that ball was caught, so there eventually could be a double play, but
they are discussed. There is a discussion here. You think he just thought that the ball was caught in the air?
Yeah, I guess that's the argument here.
I thought it hit the ground, but nonetheless,
It's a tough luck for Eagles.
I would even say Klečkova thought that it bounced because otherwise she would not have thrown home. She would have tagged the base. But nonetheless, we've now got 2 outs. They're not totally out of the jam yet. There's still runners at first and third.
Yeah, but that's difficult decision on her behalf, because if it's not judged by umpires as a caught ball, then you have to react on the runner approaching the home plate. So not that easy situation. Definitely a break for the tempo, because it was a hard smack right at the fielder.
So Lucy Chernohlavkova, she was pinch hit for the last time up, and she got all of that one, and watch out. So fans sitting there right by the side fence there. You mentioned that there's not a lot of foul room there, and you've got to be careful when you're sitting there.
Yeah, exactly. They could have a direct encounter with a soft ball, which is not soft at all.
Well, it's not soft when you get
smacked into the face.
No.
Yeah. That's for sure.
So Chekova off to second base uncontested. So the Eagles once again have second and third.
Yeah, but this time there are two outs, so that makes the situation a little bit more difficult. Chekova did exactly what she wanted to do in that situation, just do a hard contact.
Yes, gets a piece of that one to stay alive.
Yeah, good swing by Chernohlavka. It looks like Eagles hitters are now very confident with their swings, and they put in, even if there was just a foul ball, they are putting really good swings and they are in a good contact.
Chernohlavkova is 0 for 1 in the game, as that pitch is low for a ball. She's 0 for 1. She was pinch hit for the last time up by Katarzyna Kodkova, who, remember, got on base on the error and ended up scoring what is so far the Eagles' only run this game. She hits that one to left field. Is it going to stay fair?
Yeah, and it's a trouble.
Into the corner. There's 2 runs are going to score. And Chernohlavka still going around. They're going to wave her in. There she goes, going for the inside the park, come run to the plate. She is out! Out at the plate. What a play. A tough play there down the left field line by left fielder Pipova. She gambled and missed it, and it rolled into the corner. And a 2-run triple hit by Chernohlavkova. We take another look at it. Look how close this was to being caught. Look how close it was to being foul. But it goes right down in the corner. 2 runs right away scored to give the Eagles the 3-2 lead. And with 2 outs, why not? They send her home.
Yeah, that was definitely a good decision, but you can't say enough about the throw, which was made all the way from the fence in the left field. It was, as you mentioned, gamble by the left fielder, which failed, but she was helped with a teammate with a very strong throw, which nailed runner at the home plate. It was a perfect execution of a defensive throw, both with the relay.
Já mám zásadu, že se neptám na pocity, ale teď udělám výjimku u Lucie Černohlávkové, která vlastně otočila skóre domácího zápasu, tak jak se teďka cítíte, protože vypadáte hodně nadšená.
Je to skvělý pocit, tohle se nestává moc často a opravdu je to neuvěřitelný.
Teďka konkrétnější, jaký byl ten vlastně nadhoz, na který jste pálila a povedla se vám takhle skvělá akce?
Já myslím, že nějaký takový ten off-speed pomalejší právě.
Hrálo roli to, že už se vlastně chýlí zápas ke konci a že jste vlastně nadhazovačku máte nakoukanou?
Já si myslím, že ne. Já myslím, že to bylo jako, že jsem to nějak tam přišlo.
Dobře, díky.
A tou poslední cenou je 615.
We heard comments from the hero of the moment from the previous play. There was a question what kind of pitch it was. so she confirmed it was a off speed. And another question was if there is advantage that they seen the pitcher enough times. She said doesn't really play into her performance, but I would say opposite is the true. Eagles definitely took advantage of seeing Blahova. Maybe she's tiring, and they managed to turn game in her favor.
Well, that's a good point you make. That's now the third time that they're all seeing Blahova, whereas the Eagles did make the pitching change, and now look at this. This is all of a sudden, Tempo has been playing ahead most of this game. Now suddenly they're in position here in the top of the seventh where they've got to score a run, and they've got a pinch hitter in Pavla Mikšová.
Yeah, isn't it beauty how quickly the game could change totally? So now Eagles in perfect position to win the game, but at the same time they are in the same position they were on Tuesday, so they are leading in the close game. So it's far from over, and everybody knows that. So that's exciting, the seventh inning.
We get a look at Mikšová as with that last cut. She's behind 0-2 now. Fouls this one away. As that one goes right off the television truck. Take a look there.
Yeah, poor truck, the second hit of the day. And I would say that the difference between those two teams right now looks that Kopicová looks very confident on the mound. She's throwing the ball with authority.
Well, that one got away a little bit, but she can afford to waste one when she's ahead 0-2.
Yeah, looked like a purpose ball, which got way too far.
It's when we throw it at the mascot to make sure that the batters aren't getting too comfortable at the plate. Oh, I don't know how fast that ball was, but it had an arc to it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about maybe that this is a fastball out of the zone, and it might be followed by an off-speed which happened, but unfortunately for her, it was not well located. So and she ducked into the hole.
And now it's that pitch was high, so the count is now full.
So let's see how she can handle that challenge, coming from early lead, 2 strikes to full count. So let's wait for the payoff pitch.
Just stays alive again.
Yeah, it was a good pitch. Looked like the strike and tally it away from the zone. The hitter was able to put a piece on it to stay alive. This must be nerve-wracking. You cannot afford to walk her.
Oh, solid contact, but it looks like Kopicová under it. She is one away.
She was a bit uncertain about the route to take. She was thinking about turning away and running, as she was afraid of a loud hit, but it was right at her. So she had barely to move.
So Tempo down to their last 2 outs. They are back to the top of the order. Emma Vodičková. She contacts, but she pops it up as well. And Černohlavka is under it for the second out.
So we are exactly at the familiar territory of 2 outs, just 1 out to go. Exactly the situation which unfolded for Eagles on Tuesday.
Well, they're gonna want to close it out this time. I mean, what can you say about these first 2 games between Eagles and Tempo this season?
Amazing for Eagles. 2 intense games to start the season, although they lost the first and are still uncertain about the second one. This is why you play the game. You want to that intensity and those adrenaline and feelings you have connected to that. tough game, well played from both sides. We've seen some timely hitting, some great defensive plays. Both teams, whoever wins this will be more happier, but both teams have nothing to be ashamed of because it was a great game.
So now Mikhaila Chutilova, the last hope for Tempo. She's 0 for 1 in this game with a strikeout, a walk, and a sacrifice bunt.
It's a difficult situation. You can feel the weight of the game on your shoulder, so you can just let it fly away and just swing, and whatever happens, happens.
1-1 now the count.
I'm sure Kopica just wants to throw another strike and then start toying with her off-speed offerings.
Big cut at that one.
Very important moment. So let's see what comes now out of the order right now. You might see another spoiling pitch out of the zone and another changeup. Let's see.
Chutilo trying to draw the infield in. Sits on the changeup. Is Kopitsov under? She is, and that's the ball game.
First win of the season for Eagles, and well-deserved one. What a game.
And you can see they're pretty excited about it. And so are these fans, and we've got fireworks.
Another reason for the home team to win, to see the fireworks after the game.
See that last out, again sitting on that off-speed pitch, but didn't get much on that hit.
Yeah, a lot of happy faces in the home dugout.
Well,
but the tempo was so close of holding to their slim lead they had, so that's a terrible feeling for them right now, but yeah, it was a great game played by both teams.
Tempo still having a good season. That drops the record to 5 wins and 2 losses. Again, as we said, this is only the second game of the season for Eagles. They've had some rainouts. Lost a thriller to this Tempo team at Tempo on Tuesday. A very close game with Tempo scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. This time, back on their home park, it's 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th that the Eagles got, and you can see them, they're pleased to win this one.
Yeah, and will be some loud times coming in the dugout cantina nearby. Now players are calling the fans.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, what a start of the season in front of the home fans.
Fans and a lot of players on some other teams. It looks like some Komutov players there.
Yeah, seen there is Jan Vlček just a couple of rows beneath us, the player.
Jako první bude hodnotit zápas trenér vítězného týmu, tedy Eagles, Petr Marek. Já se zeptám nejprve na hráčku, která to rozhodla, Lucii Černohlávkovou. Jakou těžkou situaci ona měla při svém odpalu na 2 auty?
Tak to je spíš otázka na ní, nicméně Luce je jedna z těch nejzkušenějších hráček, dokonce hrála ten poslední televizní zápas tady před těmi 11 lety. Má dlouhou kariéru za sebou, je to reprezentantka, v takových situacích se prostě na ty hráčky spoléhá, že to dají a krásný odpal. Jediný škoda, že to nebyl běžený home run, ale to tomu nic neubírá.
Na začátku to bylo spíš Tempo, kdo útočně tlačil, tak měnil jste nějakým způsobem taktiku, nebo jste zůstal trpělivý?
Byli jsme trpěliví, my jsme věděli, že potřebujeme na Martinu Bláhovou nakoukat nadhozy. nechat ten zápas trošku plynout, abychom se dostali do hry. Věřili jsme tomu, že jsme na začátku se dostali z velmi těžké situace v první směně tím 2 autem. Věřili jsme, že to nakonec prolomíme a otočili jsme jim to v závěru zápasu, tak jak to umíme a tak jak to děláme dost často.
Dobře, děkuju. Ať se daří.
Well, we heard a quick summary of the coach. They were patient all the time and that patience pay off, so that was basically his message. And they are looking for many more victories to come.
Well, as mentioned already, a thrilling game here at Eagles Park to end an exciting home series between Tempo and Eagles. That was our first game of the season on Playo.tv, and boy, that was pretty thrilling. So,
hodnotit zápas bude také trenér poraženého týmu Milan Humaj. Pane Humaji, tak já nechám vlastně hovořit vás, co se z vašeho pohledu událo v té 6. směně, která byla klíčová.
Těžko říct, no, asi se dalo očekávat, že Eagles nás na té pálce začnou postupem času tlačit, co se tam ukázalo, protože jsou to všechno jako dobrý hráčky, dobrý pálkařky. Bohužel asi nějakou vinou nějaký jako nekomunikace, možná hluku, jsme tam nezahráli tu pálkařku, která neběžela na první metu, což je asi škoda, ale na druhou stranu prostě asi nejsem moc zvyklý hrát takovémhle prostředí a ta komunikace prostě tam asi vázla a to nás možná stálo jako to otočení toho zápasu. No.
Vlastně odehráli jste celý zápas na jednu nadhazovačku, Martina Bláhová házela skvěle, ale proč vlastně jste zvolili tuhle taktiku?
Zvolili jsme to kvůli tomu, že Martina Bláhová vlastně nedávala vůbec žádný pochyby o tom, že by potřebovala střídat a navíc naše druhá nadhazovačka Andula Štenglová má zdravotní problémy, takže jsme ji chtěli trochu šetřit kvůli zbytku sezóny, aby náhodou si něco neudělala a nepřišli jsme o ní na delší dobu. No.
Díky, hodně štěstí do další sezóny.
That was a quick summary from the coach of the visiting team. Interesting aspect he mentioned was the reason they didn't want to use the second pitcher because she had some sort of medical concerns and they don't want to risk the injury. So that was another aspect why they arrived Martina Bláhová the entire game. So that's about it.
Well, a good game all told from Bláhová, just maybe tiring a bit at the end. But all in all,
could be a factor, yes.
All in all, though, as we said, a great start to our season here, doing softball games on Playo.tv. So until next time, for Pavel Lahoda, I'm Derek O'Brien saying good night from Eagles Park in Prague.
Good night.